Here's a really good question that we get asked a lot, especially on IDX Broker customization. So why is it that some of them are set one way and some are set another? They have more space around them than others. Let's look at this results in this Inglewood, for example. You can see this one's got gray on the sides, it's got a little line on the top, and all around it, it's got that space on the bottom. This one's got even more space on the bottom and on the top. This has less space on the top and the bottom. And if we scroll down the page here a little bit, these have no space. These fill the space perfectly. So what's the issue? Well, let's open this image in a new tab. And then let's open this image in a new tab. Well, let's take a look. Okay, here's the first one that fills up the space. So it's an 800 by 600 image that the MLS is providing. And you can see that this one's pretty much filling up that space. So if I drag this down, you can see that it's about 800 by 600. Of course, I've got it kind of a little bit off. That's okay. Then let's look at this one. Whoops, right there, right off the bat, you can see there's a huge space on the top, right? Okay, so the width is correct, but the height isn't. So this was taken in a landscape mode, and the MLS is forcing them all to be 800 pixels wide, but this one's only 450 pixels about high. So anything that's left over, the MLS is putting white space around it. So this is just basically the way these images are coming from the MLS. The sad truth is, if it was some MLSs, we can stretch the images because they're just not big enough or they're too big. So we can set image sizes to force them to match. The problem is here is that if somebody uploads like this one, with this gray space, that it's just not wide enough, then the MLS is putting the extra space around it. And that's why we're getting that gray space. This one, for example, was uploaded correctly, and it's the right size, the agent put up the right size, and it fills the space. There's really only a couple of things that can be done here. We did have one client who contacted the agents because he was doing very expensive properties in Tahoe. He contacted the other agents that were doing these, whatever they were, over $10 million properties, and said, if you'll send me your images, I'll Photoshop them, send them back to you, and then you can upload them to the MLS with these fancy images. It'll look great for your sellers. They'll be pleased. And the other agents cooperated with him. It just creates a ton of work because he's got to constantly do that for everybody. That's not very practical. The only other option in this case is basically to put all of these properties on a white background, but you're still going to get the odd sizes. You can see that this house is smaller than this house, which is still smaller than this house. So it's an MLS issue, and there's really not too much we can do about it on our end. The only thing would be to have the MLSs force all of them to be the same size.